Well, let me tell you something, brother. Welcome to the Real Weird Sickos podcast. My name is Charles Kahn. I am the meme bastard, everybody's favorite meme guy. With me, as always, is the lovely Jenna Dojangles. How you doing, Jenna?
I'm the nice not bastard because I'm nice. I'm not a bastard.
See, I love being a bastard. People can use
know.
code bastard
know.
at coffeebrandcoffee.com and show support for me by buying some yummy coffees. You know who I like to support, though?
Who?
Skibbity beep bop boo bop.
Listen, I'm disappointed, man. I thought for Coffee Brand Coffee you're going to have code ReviewTechUSA.
No, it's code bastard.
Oh!
There will be no ReviewTechUSA.
Maybe one day.
We're
you
saying
never know.
down with Rich. Boo. Boo this man.
How deliciously ironic would that be if you had like a temporary code where people got a discount to get Jeremy's coffee? I would die laughing.
Like if Charles made his code like code Rich.
Code cucumber. There you go.
I wanted it to be code cum, but I like that was a little too much.
Really?
I realized I couldn't say it on radio, and like saying bastard on radio, we ran into that issue. I was doing a radio show, like calling into somebody's thing, and they didn't want to say my name on air. They wanted to spell it out, and so I was like, okay, I guess I'm BASTard. I'm bastard.
Yeah, and people may like if you use code cum, and they may like envision like someone blowing a load into their latte.
Yeah.
Kind of isn't a good.
Everybody's favorite flavor of coffee, load flavored coffee. They do have good flavors of coffee. They got strawberry now. There's a lot of good stuff there. I like the cold brew one. I like because I feel like I can drink more of the cold brew and not feel bad. If I'm drinking cup after cup of hot coffee, it feels kind of weird.
Yeah, I only drink iced coffee.
Yeah.
Unless I absolutely have to, and I'm in a situation where it's like no caffeine or hot coffee. I only drink cold.
I usually like if it's the morning, it has to be hot coffee, but the rest of the day I can just do iced. It's not a big deal. Like cold brew, like the ones that you buy, the jugs of cold brew, and you like. I usually will live off of those like for the rest of the day, but in the morning it's got to be hot.
Very good. Sorry,
I like making the big pitcher. I like the big pitcher of coffee, and then I pour a glass all the way up to the top, down that glass. Then I pour the second glass. This is why I'm always so wired up. I have a real problem. I'm awful. I'm an awful person.
No, I get it, dude, especially with our line of work, too. You know, like, even if you, like, I've been going back to the gym again, like, yeah, that helps your energy a lot. But when you sit down to either do live stream or a podcast or a YouTube video or whatever, it just kind of, it makes you lethargic.
There's a zapping of energy that it takes. People don't realize it until they've done it, what it takes. There's like I don't know if it's like a vampirism thing where you can feel people watching, like you can feel them sucking the life and the soul out of you. Yeah. And with anything technical, like even now, I'm hearing myself echoing a little bit. I'm like, there's always an issue. There's always an issue. No matter what level I get at, like I've done stuff that was like, you know, like high production value stuff, and it's like, ooh, one of that camera just doesn't work, and you guys have had this for how many years? Like we were at it was like a news channel station, and one of their damn cameras just didn't work. It's like, you guys just have that? Yeah, it doesn't work.
You know what grinds my gears? You know what really pisses me off? I see a lot of people that are low to marginal success on either like Twitch or YouTube. They're doing a bunch of stuff, and they've quit their regular 9 to 5 to do this shit full time. And all they do is complain about how hard it is. Now, I don't doubt.
Yes.
I do not doubt for a second that sometimes things can be challenging. But let me tell you something. When I'm working, and if people don't know what I do for a living, like, you know, I'm a nurse. So when I do my nursing work versus when I'm trying to either like put together a podcast or put together a video, I would much, much rather fucking do this full time and for a living. And I'm not going to whine about it. I'm not going to complain about it. Like, I don't understand why people keep I keep seeing this. It's more and more frequent. And then there's like somebody that was complaining about it that started doing OnlyFans for like a week. They were doing OnlyFans for a week, and they were talking about how challenging it is to get outfits and pose for like pictures. Man. I'm like, you have got to get fucked. Please get fucked.
When I was in gaming, there was a lot of people who would cry about any sort of industry event. So like the E3s, the PAXs, all that kind of crap. They would act like this was the Holocaust every single time. It's like, oh my God, E3, we can't go to all of these meetings and stuff. It's like, well, you can't look at a list on your phone and be where you need to be and like run across the place and push through a crowd. Like, it's not hard. It's hard, but it's not that hard. It's not, hey, you've got to get all this frozen order done before 8:00 and then get your next order
What all it does
unloaded.
is
Like,
it gets
good luck.
other people out of the woodworks to reply to them and be like, oh my God, yeah, I totally feel you on that. Like,
The
people
simps.
just don't know how challenging it is. And I'm just like, come on.
See, I don't see that. I see like when people bitch about it, it's like, all right, so go get a real job again.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I see in the replies. What the thing is too is that one, people jump ship if they start gaining traction way too early. Yeah, like no, you have 10,000 subscribers. Sit down. Like, go to fucking work your 9 to 5 because you're not making in. No, there's literally a 0% chance you'll make a living off that.
Yeah.
Or they expect to be like Mr. Beast in 6 months.
No.
Which there's 0% chance that'll probably
not unless you know somebody at YouTube who's already put a silver spoon in your mouth.
Yeah.
Like there's something like that. The van girl. There was a girl living in a van. Somebody at YouTube was pushing her stuff.
Oh, I remember that. That was a few years ago.
I remember that.
Yeah, it's been a little while. People don't remember that sort of stuff. My superpower is that I remember garbage that has no bearing on anything.
Well, no, it kind of has a bearing because it's like, hey, this shit's tough, man. I went through like a year where I gained like 3 subscribers. Like,
I know
it happens.
Especially like if you don't, if you're like me and you don't make any content, like everybody's like, well, you'd grow if you make content. I'm like, yeah, but see, the thing is that I have like a full-time job and I don't have time to make content. So
you just gotta be like JonTron. You can make a video every 3 years and it gets 50 million views.
Why can't you do that?
He's still killing it. He's still, every single time he just comes and pops around. Like, not everybody can be a JonTron. Not everybody can be an internet historian.
I think the reason why those guys are where they're at is because they had those 3 subscriber years, because they hustled and worked to build and build and build. Like, it's the people only see them now. They only see the Mr. Beast today. They don't see Mr. Beast, 10 years ago, 11 years ago, where he wasn't
10, 11 years ago, he was like 13, 14. So.
Yeah, he wasn't.
But he was on the platform though, like trying to like, he's gone through a few different arcs. And I think most of a lot of successful YouTubers have gone through different arcs, to kind of get to where they are today.
Right.
I think.
Yeah. You have to reinvent. You have to be able. It's one of the more brilliant things about like a Madonna or a Chris Jericho, that they can take the gimmick and adjust it. Undertaker does it very well, where Undertaker's done different iterations and different volumes of Undertaker, but it's always Undertaker. It's always him, but it's different levels of him. It's different volumes.
And I think that you just kind of took the words out of my mouth. And I think that fits JonTron too on top of it, is that whether you like or dislike him, I know he's a divisive figure because of some stuff he said.
Actually, it's divisive.
Divisive, potato. Mario, I say Mario because I'm from Rochelle and my whole family's Italian. Everyone said Mario instead of Mario. But he's a talented motherfucker. So people know JonTron can make one fucking video a year, and people know it'll be worth their 15 minutes to watch it.
Yeah.
See, there's so much that he's doing that's not just the one video a year. If I'm not mistaken, somebody told me that he handles like all of his merch and stuff himself. So there's a lot going on that's not really being seen by people. It's a lot of logistics and moving parts.
Even if he wasn't doing that, he would be fine with just like the one video.
Yeah,
and he might have a huge overhead, Jenna. You don't know.
Well, that's
he might
true.
have a bunch of horrors that he's got.
He does have a staff.
Takes a lot of money.
But I think his studio now is like in his own basement at his house.
Oh, that's good. That's how you do it.
Because I think
my house
when
too.
he
no rent,
you got to do it.
You don't have to pay. Yeah, you just have your stuff.
And the room is a tax write-off too. Part of my electricity, part of my internet and stuff too.
Exactly. So it's like you said earlier you're going to the gym again. Any particular reason for that?
Yeah, why are you doing that?
Oh man, what a segue. Yeah, well, one, I'm a fat fuck. So that's a good starter. And secondly, I'm a stoned shit poster on Twitter. I'm a 41-year-old middle-aged giant child.
What kind of person does that sort of thing, Jenna? Just goes on Twitter and posts garbage all day.
Oh my God, couldn't it be me?
Couldn't be me. I don't understand that.
So
why would somebody only have one account doing that too? Why not have 5?
But what? Yeah, but you guys are probably in your 20s, though, right?
Oh, I am 30.
Oh, I wish.
I'm
32
in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Really? Holy shit! I thought you. I thought you were younger. Okay.
No, anyway. I'm an old man on the internet, Sonny. I've been doing this since the 1990s.
Oh, Jesus.
Back in the days when there were Where's websites on the BBS. Why, back in my day, we would find all sorts of crazy images and send them to one another in emails.
Yes.
Man, I was gaming on a ColecoVision when it was still kind of relevant.
Why, we played on Commodore 64. The floppy disks were actually floppy, Rich.
And tapes. Imagine
you know what? I have to tell you, like, actually, we were I was at an Airbnb a month ago over on Sunset in Hollywood, like right off of Sunset. And this house had not been renovated probably since the 80s.
Oh,
love it.
And it was pristine. Like the kitchen, I think the only modern piece of like appliance
was it yellow?
It was all stainless steel.
Brown.
No, it was all stainless steel. The cabinets were stainless steel. The counters were stainless steel. And
just like
all the appliances were like all original except for the dishwasher.
That don't sound 80s. That sounds like maybe 90s.
I want to see. My grandmother had one.
It's 80s. You could tell it's 80s because I looked up the stove, like the double stove. I looked up what the like model was because I was just really interested in it, like the refrigerator, the stove top, the ovens, and it was from like 1986 or some shit. I was like, no way, no fucking way. And no, and I'm not even done. Like there was like this little desk part, like near like this door where there was a built-in cassette player and a built-in fucking record player.
No, was it an 8-track? Was there an 8-track?
Like inside the wall.
No,
like
I've seen that. I remember when I was shopping for houses, and this one house was huge, but I'm like, wow, why is this so affordable? And we went in there, and it was like 1978 was frozen in time.
Yeah.
And there was like, or probably the early 80s, because it looked like, like the wood panels on the wall, the ugly fucking wood panels, like because everything had wood in the 80s. And yeah, there was a goddamn cassette player in the wall, like for like part of the security system, but it could also play music. It was so weird.
Yeah, and that's another thing. It had an intercom, like in the kitchen and in the back. And they didn't work anymore, but they were still there. And then it was the one that was like on the outside
Jenna,
of the door
it's
too.
Me,
it was
Charles.
so fucking
I'm
weird.
all the way down here in the basement. Could you bring me some more pizza pies, please?
Well, there's no basements in California, Charles.
Oh yeah,
we don't have those here. We don't have those here.
Yeah, man, having a basement's cool.
So bizarre.
It's like this
and they had cassettes.
Dungeon.
I don't know if this is the original owners or not, but they had cassettes that you could play. There was no records, but there was like the Top Gun like soundtrack.
Milli Vanilli? Was there Milli Vanilli?
Like I was like, this is wild. This is so fucking wild.
There's
they took really
more
good care of the house.
1991 album than the Milli Vanilli stuff, right?
God, Milli, girl, you know it's true.
God. So you were telling us, Rich, you're a fat fuck. You're going to the gym. What's motivated you to de-fat fuck?
So I put up a tweet because we were talking about on my live streams, because I live stream on pretty much every night, how like the creator clash stuff is like, why are all these YouTubers trying to become professional fucking boxers? It's just weird. Like you wouldn't have like a content creator try to like become a doctor. You know what I mean? It's just strange. So
it'd be cool if I could do some surgeries. Do you need a penisectomy or anything? I can take care of it. I got a pair of shears.
Oh, my dick is a belly button, absolutely. So I'm like, whatever. So I'm just fucking around, and I was like, look, it's like I who would watch me box the quartering? I'll go get a fucking physical tomorrow if that would happen. Was I serious? No, because I'm just an asshole and I like trolling people, whether it be a large YouTuber or whether it be a troll. I just like fucking with. That's my brand on Twitter. I'm annoying. So Jeremy must have been on the sauce. Shocking, because you guys know he nukes like his Twitter. Like,
no way.
I've never seen him do that before and have no idea what you're talking about. He totally doesn't get drunk
and turn on a live stream and cope. I've never seen him do that before, Rich. What are you talking about?
No, never. He would never do that and then make a video sucking Elon Musk's dick and then delete it immediately.
Never.
So he saw my tweet and was like, you post cringe shit like this. All right, the fight's on 8/1/23. And I'm like, all right, I was fucking around, but okay. So literally I dropped my kids off at school. I'm like, I was like, you know what? I've been saying I'm going back to the gym. Today is the day I'm going back to the gym. And I was like, let's do this. So I'm like, I started this as a joke. You wanted to make it real. Let's make it real. So what was weird though, is that like if you noticed, he hasn't mentioned it at all.
No.
He has not mentioned it since that initial tweet. And then he got in my DMs. I'm not going to, like, it's not like he sent me a dick pic, but I'm not going to, like, go into the
Are you sure? Check again.
I was hoping for one. I was really disappointed. He was like, there's the height difference between you and I, and so that means my reach will be higher. And I'm like, dude.
Yeah, he's a tall dude. People don't realize how tall he is.
How tall is he?
6'5". But I'm like, dude,
shit.
Yeah, asterisk though. He's not Muhammad Ali, nor am I.
Right.
Okay. So it's not like if he was like in Jake Paul's shape, which I guess you could consider him an athlete now, even though he started off as a Vine, the motherfucker started off on,
I'm not even sure if he's the one that's in wrestling now. That's how up to date I am on things. There's one that's been at okay.
Logan Paul's in wrestling.
That one I like. That one is he's outshined pro wrestlers at their own thing.
Yeah,
at WrestleMania. It's weird.
Yeah, well, when he's not doing shady crypto shit, I guess he's actually a pretty good wrestler.
Well, listen, nobody has to be perfect, okay? Like, I'm sure we've all done some things that aren't cool, that we're like in hindsight going, yeah, maybe that wasn't the right thing to do.
Yeah, but he kind of doubled down on it when he got caught, though. And then
CoffeeZilla got his ass. Woo! Coffee got that ass.
So
Coffee went all the way to Joe Rogan. That's how much he got that ass.
Yeah, he thought. And anyway, I lost my train of thought.
Yeah. Quartering was in your DMs. There were dick pics.
Yes. No dick pics. Yeah. Say I was disappointed about that. I requested one. He said no, sadly. But he was like, "All right, I'm taller than you. That could be a problem." I'm like, dude, and I said that, like, or no, I was like, dude, we're not Muhammad. We're not in incredible shape, and one of us is out of shape. You know what I mean? Like, stop. It's not like one of us is a professional boxer or even amateur. Give me a break. So I'm like, all right, fine. Like, I don't know that much. Does it make it that I legally can't box you because we're that much in different class? Like, if that's the case, then I guess I can't do it. But if not, who fucking cares?
Right.
And then he was like, you're in better shape than me, which that's sad. And let's just keep it real. And I'm like, okay. And the first thing he said, even before we got in the DMs, if you guys noticed, he's like, I'm going to start training May 1st. And I'm like, it's not even mid-April yet. Like, I know like Sam Hyde was saying that he would train him or whatever. Like, but
Sam will say that. Sam will train people. Why don't you go train with Sam?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even really know Sam that much. I know he had a show on we had Comedy Central or something for a while.
I bet if you reached out to him on Twitter, you just at him and said, I'm boxing the quartering. I need your help.
Wigger.
You do
at
it.
Wigger with a W.
Okay. I know.
She's like, I don't want the podcast.
We make pennies as it is. I'm not trying to get banned.
Yeah, he may not like me though, because I'm fairly liberal. I know one thing about Sam Hyde, he's conservative.
I don't think he really
he's
cares
fairly
that much
liberal
about
too.
it.
I think he's a very liberal conservative.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll fuck with him. I don't care.
It's
like,
a very alternative lifestyle. It's a whole thing.
I'm not in the cuck camp either. Though. Like, that's the thing. A lot of people hear when I'm like progressive. I'm like, yeah, I'm like Medicare for all, marriage equality.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's it. Like I'm not like, oh I'm a person that may ovulate one day and then have, I'm like, no, you're either you're man or woman.
Whoa. Now who's getting us demonetized here?
No, I'm pro LGBT. No.
Yeah,
I'm not
no,
going.
he definitely
No,
is.
I'm not going.
So
into,
is
whatever
J.K.
you're
No,
Rowling.
I'm
if
saying
you asked
no. I'm
her.
saying I know that you are. I know that you are.
Yeah. I'm not saying. No, I'm not in that. I'm not transphobic at all. But like, if you're thinking, like, it was Anna Kasparian who was saying the same thing. Like, if you want me to refer to you as a person that ovulates, like, fuck off.
Birthing person, Anna Kasparian.
Birthing person that ovulates. Like, I'm not in that identity politics bullshit.
Front hole. She's got a front hole.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, person with a front hole. That's what that'll be.
I got a back hole myself.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I got a back hole that lets out the violent brown. Anyway, I am out of my mind. I'm sorry. I'm going to ruin your fucking podcast.
No. Hey, but you know what? We're in the name. It's everything's in the title, so you're fine.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that.
So it was funny because Aaron over at the Steel Toe Radio Show has noticed this too. He hasn't. It seems like he's going to bail. I'm not going to bail. I'm still going to go through with it. I'm going to lose a bunch of fucking weight. Might as well. I might as well finish what I started. I went a little bit in reverse because life has happened. So, all right, Jeremy, you wanted to make this serious and now you're being quiet. Let's go. Let's see what happens. I'll take it from here, man. I even put up a tweeter. Holy shit.
A tweeter. Okay, boomer.
God, I put up a tweeter. It's like when a 60-year-old refers to every console as Nintendo. I put up a tweet. I'm like, dude, just because I know it'll get a bunch of publicity, so long as the accommodations are paid for and there's a valid amount of publicity for the fight, I'll do it for fucking free. I'll make money on the back end of it. I don't fucking care. I just want to legally punch him in the face.
See, the problem is he's going to punch you in the face too, though.
That's fine. Let him.
Quartering, he's got the height, he's got the reach. It wouldn't be fair, Rich. He's all coffeeed up from coffeebrandcoffee.com. Use code BASTARD to check out and save. He's, he could light you up.
Listen, you know what, though, man? We'll both.
That coffee's powerful stuff.
I'm going to buy a bag of that coffee brand coffee unground. I can't talk today. And we're both going to be shirtless, and I'm going to be throwing the beans right at his fucking nipples, man.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
That's how I'm starting off that fight. I'm going to intimidate him by making his nipples sore.
Maybe if this fight doesn't work out, you could be an alternate for Boogie or Wings. Because I got a feeling one of them is going to flake.
Or both.
In which case, I guess I'll have to fight him. I'll fight you, Rich. You want to fight? I'm more conservative than Sam Hyde.
I got a feeling that both of them are going to go through with it. Here's why. Wings has kind of changed a bit from back in. He's definitely way more self-aware now.
Oh, totally. Absolutely. Yeah.
Like, I know. I talk. He's on a medication to try to lose more weight to get ready for the fight. He ain't playing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Let's go.
And Boogie, I'm cool with Boogie. I'm cool with both of them, by the way. I think they're both nice dudes. Okay.
Yeah, we had Boogie on the show before.
We just had Boogie on like a few weeks ago.
Boogie's a lot of fun.
Yeah, they're both fun human beings. And honestly, I think Boogie needs the money. And the publicity. And the publicity.
Who doesn't? Listen, Rich, here's the thing. There's no such thing as bad publicity, okay? Lee Harvey Oswald said it best. No such thing as bad publicity.
But is that really true, though?
Oh, yeah.
Look at Quantum TV.
Yeah.
Look at Quantum. Is that really? Look, I'm trying to think of.
That's bad publicity. Like EDP, bad publicity. Like that's a guy that's got some bad publicity. What's the Subway guy?
Jared Fogle. I was just about to say.
No, that's some bad publicity.
O.J. Simpson. Oh, and also
O.J. Simpson could come back at any day now, Jenna.
He would. I really want him to answer my fucking DMs. How about that?
Imagine if O.J. started a Twitch stream like every night, and he was playing like Dead by Daylight as the killer from Scream stabbing people.
He's entirely too boomer for that.
You know what's really fucked up to think about is that. Yes, it was a civil case, and it doesn't go into the same. But he lost the civil case, so in a way, it's been proven that he's a murderer.
Well, it's my understanding, and now I've only represented a couple people in legal cases before, so it's my understanding that losing the civil case like that resulted in like a wrongful death kind of thing because it happened on his property that he owned. That was the understanding that I had. that that was why they blamed
That's-
him for it.
You're right. That was actually a technicality.
The best conspiracy theory I ever heard about the OJ stuff was that OJ didn't do it, that his son was the one that did it. That's because the son. Well, the son worked.
Yeah.
The son worked with Ron Goldman, and this is some crank conspiracy stuff. Worked with him in a kitchen where he was like a chef or something, or like one of those. What do they call the line cook guys? Something like that. And him and Ron had it out over something because he was dating his stepmom or whatever. Like it was a whole thing. There was also that Ron's supposed to owe some money to some porn guys, like some shady. The mafia doesn't really exist, like it never has. It's a thing just made up for the movies. But there were some shady characters that he owed money to that were like porn guys, and that was one of the things that could have been who it was, because it's entirely possible that OJ has been innocent this whole time.
There was Nicole's blood in the Bronco. Sorry.
His son was the one that drove the Bronco. His son was the one that checked into a 5150 thing the day of the Bronco chase.
There were people that were eyewitnesses seeing him come driving away from her neighborhood.
And he had a violent history. There were domestic disputes.
OJ was often.
Do you know what happened to the murder
bushes.
weapon? Do you know what I think happened to the murder weapon? It just so happened that Robert Kardashian was able to take his garment bag that he took to Chicago that night. He was able to take that while investigators were at the house, take that and put it in his trunk. There are paparazzi pictures of Robert Kardashian putting that Louis Vuitton garment bag into his trunk, and I can 100% guarantee you the murder weapon, that's where that shit was.
So Jenny, you're
saying
that's
on some other level shit.
You're saying that a lawyer would help a guy hide a murder weapon? That doesn't sound like a lawyer to me. Lawyers don't do shady stuff like that.
Robert
Jenna.
knew he did it. Robert was trying to.
You're saying that the Kardashian family, a family known for only doing the most above board, wonderful things for publicity, that they would have
and
their
Robert
father
took that
do
to
something
the
like
grave.
that.
That's like
that to the grave.
That's like some Better Call Saul shit, man.
Yeah, but if you look it up, there's a lot of different avenues with that. Like, I have looked into this stuff so much that like there's no OJ lore out there that I don't know about, but certainly it's just cut and dry. What's
He's
I know
so
what
funny.
screwed up that whole case was forensic investigators not using things like gloves when they were collecting like they were supposed to, so that's contamination. And then
that one cop was racist.
and then Mark Furman. Those are the two things that completely fucked the case, that made people have kind of like that little shadow of the doubt. And not only that, they had like a revolving door of like jurors. So the whole thing was a shit show. It should have been a mistrial, but it wasn't, because they had Johnny Cochran, and that's what happened.
If the glove don't fit, you must acquit.
That's exactly it. So what happened? What Chris Darden, the prosecutor, like what the glove don't fit must acquit was doing to Chris Darden, the prosecutor, is he was pushing him like, I got you on this. I bet you won't. So he, Darden got bold and said, well, why don't you try on the glove then? And he has fucking like rubber gloves on. And you cannot get a fucking leather glove on over a rubber glove. So that was the nail in the coffin.
Before putting
that
on
was
my
the Johnny Cochran pushed
leather
them. That
gloves.
was the nail in the coffin. That's what happened.
I always put on rubber gloves before I put on my leather gloves.
Of course.
That's everybody knows that. In the black community, in our community, this is a very important thing to do. Like, you have to understand. Like, you don't understand, Jenna.
Would you ever put on boxing gloves?
Oh, absolutely, I would. There's a lot of people I would box. I'll box Rich right now. Rich, you want to box?
I'll
beat the shit out of you.
I'll fly to you right now. Let's go.
I'm only 3 feet tall and 186 pounds.
Well, dude, you just bust me at the knees then.
I'd go straight for the groin.
You punch me in the balls. There you go.
There you go.
You're like what, like 6'2"?
I'm 5'10".
Charles? You're 5'10", Charles.
Didn't know they stack shit that high.
Oh,
how about that?
And that
oh my god. Okay, so
I'm only 3.5 feet tall.
Anybody catch the Creator Clash last night? Creator Clash 2?
Not a single second of it.
I had a friend on Discord who was at the event who wanted to call me and talk to me while it was going on. I couldn't see anything. He had decent seats, but like the place wasn't packed. It was kind of odd. Like you kind of run the phone around like, look, it ain't really that packed, man.
I know a lot about it from Twitter, but did I actually watch it? No. I know iDubbbz fought. I know Harley from Epic Mealtime was there. Chris Raygun. Who the fuck else was it?
You think Raygun got laid afterwards? Because that seems like a thing he'd do.
Oh, I hope so.
Chris Fox.
Oh yeah,
he fucks.
He looks.
I don't think there's an e-girl that he hasn't tried to hit.
I bet you guys.
I say too. Tried. I feel like the e-girls are trying to hit him. I think that's
they
how
are.
It's going.
They are.
It's the other way around.
I've known of a few that have just completely thrown themselves at him. There's a lot of e-girls they just throw themselves at like any YouTuber. That's the thing. That's true. It's true.
Yeah. That's what I said. JonTron could here's my friend JonTron. Hey guys, how's it doing? It's me, JonTron. I got a trunkload of whores here with me.
He's married.
Holy fuck! You kind of sounded. Oh, that was creepy.
That was crazy. That was actually
what do you mean,
impression, though.
I got a whole bunch of whores here.
That was an insane impression. Holy fuck! Wow, that was awesome.
I'll be here all week,
Charles. He doesn't have to do that anymore.
Yeah, listen, I'm married, but that's it's a Mormon marriage, so I've got a lot of them.
I think he was one of the ones who resisted like the whole e-girl.
I learned from all my friends. It's an open marriage.
How the fuck were you doing that?
I can do. I play a lot of Dungeons and Dragons, so I do a lot of silly voices. I was in musical theater, so I do a lot of. There's a lot from that.
You could have honestly tricked me that, like, if I went on like a server with you and you were JonTron, I would believe you.
Hey, it's me, Evil JonTron. How you doing?
Yeah,
let me tell you all about Israel.
Yeah. Oh, don't. Oh no. He's lucky. He's lucky that shit didn't fuck up his entire career.
Oh, yeah. I think it may have. I think he's definitely because he's a popular dude, but I think he'd be 10 times more popular if that wasn't hanging over him. But I don't know. Maybe it is.
There was that voiceover work for a game that he lost like right away.
Oh yeah. I love saying anything for a laugh. I don't care. Like I'll tell people up front, I am a wild and crazy cat. I'll say anything for a laugh.
I didn't. So like I was gonna watch it, but then like I got busy and I was like not home. Actually, we were gonna go, didn't make it. But yeah, I pretty much like everybody that I know made it. Like I know so many people that actually went and they all talked about having a great time. So it was just kind of like
everybody
a little bit of FOMO,
to go out to
but
the party. You get to see everybody. Like that's the thing about
like
these
VidCon
events
too. That's what everybody's just going to hang out with everybody. That's what it is.
See, I'm not a hangout kind of guy. I'm the weirdo. Like I want to go. When it comes to like these events and things, I want to go straight back to the hotel.
No,
I want to go to sleep. I'm tired. Oh, Jenna, 10 o'clock. As soon as the things, in fact, before the main event, let's get out of here before traffic hits. Let's go.
You gotta be around for like the stories. No. Like there's stories that come along with the party.
I don't need to see who's banging who. I don't want to see it because there's stuff that I know, Jenna, about people that were hugged up together from like 10 years ago that I probably like. I wished I could forget that. If I could just get that image out of my mind, like, ooh.
Oh no! Like there's definitely like stories about like everybody like at these things.
And I don't. Here's another thing, Jenna. I don't want stories about Charles out there.
No,
Charles
but there won't
enough.
be if you're not
causing
trouble. If you're not causing trouble, you could just be like an observer.
I just show up and I make people mad.
You need to be like before the podcast. We were talking about Gamer from Mars. Shout out Art.
Love Art.
He goes to these things and like he's a straight shooter guy. Like he doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke, he doesn't do any of that stuff. And he'll come and he'll hang out and he'll be cool and he'll be present. And then he'll go back to his hotel. He doesn't stay in Airbnbs with a bunch of people. He's there to like do business. Hell. He's there to do business, but he definitely he hangs out still too.
A house full of people. Even if it was dudes that I was tight with, if it was my dudes that I was tight with, and we sat on Discord for 4 hours talking about, crazy Russian movies, I don't think I could spend that 4 hours sitting in a house with them.
If it's a big enough house, and you're like barbecuing, you're like all vibing, you're hanging out, it's
Charles
cool.
wants Charles space. I need.
You have your own room.
The memes and stuff, like, Jen, I can't take time away from Twitter. Come on. There's a lot of.
Rich, have you been to like VidCon or anything?
I've been to like one convention since I've been doing this, and it was back. Thinking about it, God, it was a really long time ago because it was back in 2016.
The good old days.
It's
back when America was made great again.
It's just weird because I'm thinking of it. I've been doing YouTube for almost 10 fucking years now. And back then I was only doing it for a couple, not even 3 yet. But I went to one. It's fine. I don't mind. It was fun. It's just kind of like once I shut off YouTube from what I'm doing, like I'm done with it. You know what I mean? I go off to my real life. Yeah. So, and I have kids. I have other shit going on, you know. To go to these events is time consuming, and so I'm kind of a shut-in, man. Like I'm a people person on camera, but like beyond that, it's like, nah, I'm good. I'm doing my own thing.
Don't worry, everybody's like that in person.
The volume knob goes all the way off.
I always joke about this because it's like, you know, like when shit goes down and there's like drama in the Twitch community, and it always stems from some crazy Twitch party or something. There you have Twitch parties, and then you have YouTube parties, and YouTube parties is just a bunch of people standing around and being awkward as fuck.
I'd have everybody playing Dungeons and Dragons.
But there's so much
fun,
really nerdy. But there's still,
I'd make it the nerdiest event in the world, Jenna.
It's slightly awkward, but it's still so much fun though. There's still so much fun, even though they're awkward.
Ray Gun's getting laid in a hot tub.
Why do we keep on talking about Ray Gun getting laid? Am I missing something?
He fucks. He gets girls.
I'm telling you, this guy probably bangs 10 chicks a day. The only guy to get more ass than this guy is a toilet seat. Okay.
Okay. Hey, bless him.
He fucks. He definitely fucks. I promise you.
He's a fucker.
He got that big dick energy. I kind of get that sense from him, man. He's like
that's what I've heard. There was a gal who told me he was packing heat, but I don't know. I have not seen the penis for myself. Given a chance, I'll take a look. But in my medical opinion, I can't judge. You know,
I've seen way too many penises that I didn't want to see. I've seen someone sent me a picture of EDP's penis, which I did not want to see.
Oh, I've seen it. It's so much. I've seen, like, you know who actually has I saw line makers.
Oh no.
That was the weirdest fucking shit. It looked like an alien. It had like I don't even want to describe it, but it was bad. I've seen that. I've seen them all.
The other day who I he posted a one in the group chat, and I said, you know, I could Photoshop it to where this thing's like going all around your head like a silly string. Like, wouldn't that be funny? And he's like, yeah, that would be funny. I'll tweet that out. And I was like, I don't want to actually make that, but it'd be funny.
Who the hell else is I was going through Gavin McGinnis's. I don't know if you guys know who he is. His Twitter timeline.
You know.
And he was all of a sudden. I'm like, just looking through because I know he's out of his fucking mind. So I was just curious. So you just go down the Twitter rabbit hole. You look through someone's feed, and then there's him jogging on a beach, completely naked with his third fucking leg, which is his cock, just dangling. I'm like, what the hell am I looking at right now? And I will say something. He's a well-endowed man.
Really?
Yes. Gavin McGinnis, unfortunately, I know is packing because of his fucking Twitter. And then a guy I worked with at Filene's, which got taken over by Macy's. He kind of was like a creepier, shorter version of Mr. Rogers. Saw him at my gym, and he was like a tripod from War of the Worlds.
Hey, Rich, won't you be my neighbor? Why don't you take a look at this?
Yeah, he almost knocked me out with his mushroom. I'm walking into the gym locker room, and he just, hey, Rich, how you doing? And then, like, because his dick was so huge, it swayed around like 30 seconds later. It almost killed me.
There was a fella that told me a story of when he worked underground in the coal mines, that there was a guy who would always holler at him, hey, man, you got to come here quick. And, you know, everybody come running, but he would start to do the helicopter with his Wang Chung.
Oh, dude, man. And
it would get everybody every single time. Hey, man, you got to come quick. Hurry. You know, everybody comes running, and it's just him doing the helicopter.
God, that sounds like my friend Sean. Any excuse, because, yeah, he has a big dick. Any excuse to accidentally make you see it.
I heard that about Lyndon Johnson, that Lyndon Johnson would pull it out all the time. Hey, look at this.
Fuck, the president of the United States. Look at my
Sure.
penis to show you dominance. That's
You never hear that about Trump. You never hear about Trump pulling out his penis and showing it to everybody.
Oh.
Probably 'cause- yeah.
Only the people that he liked.
because he has. That's why you think he got so insecure when Marco Rubio said something about his hands. You know, because
Yeah.
that was an American politics debate. Then people wonder why this country's fucked.
God.
And
Yeah.
because he said something about, he's like, "Don't worry, my penis is tremendous. Don't listen to Marco Creepo fucking Rubio." Like that's probably why Trump doesn't show his penis, because his dick is probably very small and spray tan.
The other day I like fooling around with this AI stuff. I've made some really stupid Trumps. I got a
You
Trump.
got a Cheeto dick.
I got Trump shaking hands with an alien. There's something very funny to me that I could just type into this computer program and it'll just give me, here's Donald Trump with a goofy looking alien and they're shaking hands. There was a guy the other day who said that Donald Trump was the Tupac of white people. And so I did like a merge of Tupac and Donald Trump. So it looked kind of like Tupac, but he had the Donald Trump haircut. You know, you can do such
You're
stupid
using
shit with
you're
AI.
using AI software. I have that on
As
my
it was
phone.
intended. Natural stupidity meets artificial intelligence.
I creep out Keemstar by putting up
Oh God.
like naked homoerotic photos of him on Twitter, and I'll just
Oh,
add
I
him. Like
remember when you were doing like the AI ones. I think I saved a couple of those because they were so fucking funny.
Yeah, he was freaking out and on his he's like he puts up these really weird, creepy ass fucking pictures. He was talking on that podcast that he was doing, and he was freaking out. He's like,
That's so funny.
he was like questioning his sexuality due to AI images of him. I'm like,
There was a couple
He
years
talked
ago
about
when the
that-
deep
he
fake
talked
stuff
about
was
that
going
on
around.
SOP. I remember that now because that's when I had to
Somebody
go look
wanted
at
to
it.
do,
Yeah.
somebody in meme circles wanted to do a deep fake of Keemstar that was like gay porn. And I was like, why would you want to do that? Why would you care?
He's
Like, that's a
embracing
lot
the
of
meme
effort
now.
for a joke.
Like the railroad, like all of the memes that were like in 2016 that he used to block people for, like the one where he's behind the car and there's like the dildo. It's not him, but it looks like him in the railroad tracks guy. He's
I look forward to
actually
Christmas every year
oh,
just so we can do that Christmas tweet.
it's not Christmas without that fucking tweet.
Was it Christmas? Yeah, it's Christmas.
Yes, it's
yeah.
Christmas Eve. It's Christmas Eve.
Yeah, it's Christmas
I
Eve.
just hit
Oh,
a dog
man,
going
Christmas Eve is
70
like
miles
Christmas
an hour
Eve.
down the highway. This is the worst Christmas Eve
It's so
ever.
funny.
Yes, it died.
I posted it, and people were like, "Oh my God, Charles, I'm so sorry." Like,
He
it's
was
like
actually
anybody that
like,
knows the Charles lore knows I don't drive.
maybe like
what
about
are you,
4 years
crazy?
ago, he was
Me
still
drive?
pissed off about it, but he's not mad about it anymore. He actually posted it himself this last Christmas Eve. So he's like,
Well,
he's
you have to.
embracing the memes now.
You have to. You either embrace the memes or
You become
you get
DSP.
clowned on. You become
exactly. You become Phil. Don't be Phil. Embrace the memes about you. It takes the
I don't
power
hate
away.
DSP. I wish him well.
I don't hate him either.
He's doing his thing.
I feel bad for him.
I'm like,
I do too. I wished I could help him.
he's like he's like big brother to me. I know I have like a borderline obsession with Phil. Not like I don't wish him any ill will. I would never take it beyond YouTube. But he fascinates the fuck out of me.
He's such a survivor.
He had first off, for some reason he has a rigid schedule like that no one cares about except him.
Yeah.
So everyone's like no one, like he probably spends like 12 hours putting that schedule together and not a soul fucking cares about it. But he had it. He actually has a YouTube channel called I Finished a Video Game, which it's like some of the best production value content I've seen on YouTube. You should check him out. But he's also a Phil fan, an ironic Phil fan like me. And he's like, why does it look like a hymn sheet that you would get handed out of the church? Phil, not joking, he thinks like this is being funny, where he's like, Phil is, like he said, DSP gaming is springing with spring fun. And he has his face with a cowboy hat on a fucking, like a bee, like a cartoon bee. Like a fourth grade teacher would give to their class for their students.
Oh,
I fucking love that
he thinks
fucking
he's
meme.
people.
I fucking love that meme so fucking much. Oh my God.
And he, like, to him, that is like being edgy. Like, that's not, whereas like any, like, he's my age. So any 41-year-old man would be like, yeah, that's like what a teacher would do for children.
God.
He's amazing. Like, that's why I can't shut the fuck up about him. He does.
There's so many characters that fascinate me, like him in particular, because he's such a survivor. Like, Twitch is going to end before Phil's done. Like, Twitch will be done before he's done.
Phil
YouTube might be done before he's done.
Phil could just go somewhere else, and he could have like the same like 10 people like donate like $40-$50 a stream, and he'll be okay.
People, we got to get some money in. I can't do the stream.
But he hits like $30, $40, $50 like for his donos. Like the man is like a fucking beast. He's a machine.
The wrestling stuff.
What it is.
I don't know what's going on with him. It's so crazy.
What is I have this joke, but I kind of don't think it's totally untrue. Where it's like 5 50-year-old horny men that have a fetish for Phil that basically pay for his life.
But it's like pay pigs.
Yeah, but I don't think I think it really is a handful of people, which is strange.
Plausible.
It's just strange.
He might actually have real fans.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
He does.
Straight on, like the first layer of the onion, who are just like, no, we just like Phil. We just like him and think he's a funny guy. There was a podcast a couple weeks back, and it kind of felt like they were trying to motherfuck him.
Are they saying that with their dicks in their hands, though?
When they were talking to him, like they had Phil on, and I was like, Phil's a little antagonistic the way you guys are.
Are you
like,
talking about the Side Scrollers podcast?
I may or may not be talking about the Side Scrollers podcast because I can't remember now.
Yes, it's Side Scrollers. Well, first off, Phil doesn't do interviews. Okay,
I know he did the quartering and then he did the Side Scrollers, and those are the only two I could think of.
Well, he did the quartering because the quartering didn't ask any. He knew the quartering was going to do nothing more but suck his cock for an hour and a half. That's why he did.
I feel like he asked some good questions.
True.
He asked some good questions.
What were the good questions he had? Where he blew his load?
He said, listen, did you know, Phil, that you can save at coffeebrandcoffee.com by using code BASTARD?
There you go. That was a good way to plug that. I'll give you that. Oh, my
fucking God.
But he didn't ask him, and Jeremy knows this. He didn't ask him. Phil wouldn't have came on the show. Here's the reason he fucking went on the show with Craig, because he was a fan of Stuttering Craig. So Phil put his guard down. He thought he was going to go on there and get his nuts gargled like Listerine again.
I think he knew. I think he knew he was in for it. Like, you could see he was getting a little anxious.
Well, after he was on, he got anxious because he realized it wasn't going to be another softball interview. But
him and Adam were kind of hard on him.
But it was he needed to. Those were things like that's what Phil's brand is. That's what he's known for. It's like if I went on your show, which now you may ask, like, Rich, why do you get shirtless and kiss fucking porcelain chickens when you live stream?
Wait, you do what?
I get shirtless and kiss fucking porcelain chickens when I get my live stream.
Why the fuck do you do that, dude? What is that? Who does that?
Because I'm an attractive man.
Only
and I can.
A real weird sicko would do that such a thing.
And there you go. I'm not denying any of that. But what I'm saying is Phil is known for begging because he publicly begs all the time. He's known for like always playing being the victim, where it's like he just one tragedy after the next.
Oh yeah, it's a pity party.
The local culture.
It's sob stories and pity parties and woe's me.
So that
we were talking about YouTubers that are like, oh man, being a YouTuber is so hard. I can't. Oh man, it's the worst job in the world.
6 figures a year.
Well,
and he spends it all on WWF Supercard, some kind of mobile phone game.
So
that's what the allegations were. I don't know if that's true or not.
And there you go. Speaking of his brand, the reason why people looked into it, not saying it's right that they should have. It was illegal what they did. And you shouldn't have went into his bank accounts, look where he's spending his money. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? But yeah, because he keeps poking the hornet's nest by going, woe is me. I'm going to have like a lunch meat sandwich instead of actually having real food tomorrow if I don't get tips. People are going to be like, all right, motherfucker, you're selling me on giving you money because you're crying poor. I want to find out if my money's actually going to those places. And that's what happened. And now people were like, this is weird. This money seems to be going to a game of sweaty, almost fully naked men.
I can tell people right now, any money I've gotten for the internet, from the internet, has gone directly into the Charles Pizza Fund. I spend a strong amount of money on pizza every week. If I was to do a video, I eat a pizza every day for 30 days, that would be, I could do it. I could do it, and it'd be like not a whole lot has changed from my life.
Yeah, but see, here's a difference.
It's kind of like Chris Chan. People were still giving money to Chris Chan. Like,
a little bit.
Somebody fucking bailed him out of prison. Somebody bailed him out of fucking prison.
Yeah, Chris Chan is like, what happened with him is he was
the main character of the internet.
He was the main character of the internet, and the reason he became that was because he was just, due to the fact that his parents were, even before his mom had dementia and his dad passed away, they were both seemed like lost causes themselves if you saw how they lived. And
Oh, totally. Absolutely.
They weren't all there. So his parents weren't parenting, and it was the perfect storm of being on the spectrum. He's mentally ill, full stop. And no one was there to get in the way. And so he was just in these fantasy worlds that the internet, the trolls were putting him in. And essentially you could get him to do whatever the fuck you want. So
what do they call that? Where somebody has like charge of somebody, like a governorship, or like what was the Britney Spears thing?
Oh,
conservativeship.
Yeah, there's something I forgot.
I feel like Chris Chan needs that. Like DSP might. If you think of you a big fan of the Three Stooges, Rich?
I used to know. Yeah, I've watched a ton of them.
Everybody loves the Three Stooges. Here's a little Three Stooges trivia for everybody out there. Larry Fine was a gambler. The second that he would get his check, straight to the dog track, and every penny he had, he would spend it all. And eventually, Mo had to take care of his money for him and actually put him on an allowance because he had a family, he had kids and a wife, like he had stuff going on, and he's going to put him in the poorhouse, even though they're the Three Stooges. They're doing, because they would do the shows, the actual shorts, then they would do touring shows, and that was where they really made their money, because they got to keep everything from those shows. They were working all this stuff, and he's going out gambling it. And Curly had a similar issue where he wanted to go out to bars and be the center of attention and buy everybody in the bar's tab, buy everybody drinks, everybody's dinner, singing, dancing, playing piano. And so Mo had to take over his money as well and be the financier for him and his family.
Well, I'll add another little piece of trivia about the Stooges in there too.
Yes.
Is that, you may know this already, but they didn't know how famous they actually were, and the studio actually did their damnedest to hide that from them. Because if they knew what their celebrity and worth actually was, they'd have to pay them like triple what they were paying them.
The Stooges, compared to all the other guys doing shorts, like how many other short subject guys, like, they're not airing in heavy rotation. There's probably on like MeTV or something somewhere. I'm sure if somebody looked up Three Stooges full episodes into YouTube, they might find it. I don't know. I'm not encouraging anybody to go looking for that, but it might be out there. Whatever. The Three Stooges is still around. You don't hear about all these other dudes. You don't hear about all the other dudes that were doing similar stuff. The guys that the studio loved. These were the guys that were the funny dudes who were hardworking guys doing their thing, and they all loved one another. Like Larry, after Curly had passed, he found out that Mo was paying for like Curly's widow and his children. He said, "Well, he was my little brother too, Like I've known him for the last 30 years. Like, why am I not helping take care of his kids too? Like, that shouldn't all be on you." And so Larry actually gave some of his money every paycheck to Curly's widow. Like that's the kind of guy Larry was.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Like that was in The Stooge to Conquer was the name of the book from Mo Howard, his autobiography. Fantastic book.
Man, there's such for a comedy show. There's so much drama and stuff.
Well, it's such a time capsule of the world. Mm-hmm. I watched one the other day. A woman said that she wanted to get a bottle, and one of the guys said, "Oh yeah, it's kind of hard to get one these days." They were talking about a bottle for the kid, a baby bottle. But then he mentioned, it was liquor bottle. I was like, oh yeah, Prohibition was going on.
Yeah, and like World War II, how many references to?
Oh yeah, there's ones where the boys are like working on airplanes, or they're in the service doing stuff. It's a really fascinating show that they had, or shorts, I guess. I think, God, I love the Three Stooges. I could get into Three Stooges stuff. I feel like before we go, we got to touch on the retro game stuff. We got to, Jenna, what do you know about these, the DK guys?
Oh, yeah.
I know that they're like making everything look kind of nice from the outside, but they're not doing shit from the inside.
Well, they're not
TikTok
even
somehow knows exactly what I want to see, which is retro video game stuff, guys tearing down machines and showing video games. And then these DK guys come up and it's like, oh, this is really cool. These guys got like a fun attitude. He's flipping around the boxes and taping them together and shipping stuff out. Oh, okay, Jenna, I know you like this game, so let's put in a little extra bonus for you. And send it out to people. I went, you know what, let's take a look. Let's buy a game from these guys. What do they got? Maybe I need some Sega Saturn controllers. And then I go and look, and I wanted to gouge out my eyes at how much they were charging. Like, retro game prices are pretty stupid. They're pretty stupid right now, but the prices they're charging are absurd. And then we get to what Rich has been covering on his YouTube channel. If I'm right, it was refurbished consoles. Is that what was going on?
Well, the thing, it's always weird because I never remember how these stories started. Same with Quantum TV, and like you just trip into stuff. Like I saw people talking about DK oldies. Jesus Christ, the name slipped my mind even when we were just talking about it. DK
Donkey
oldies.
Kong.
So everyone was like, I heard mixed things. It wasn't even bad things that I heard. And this is when I was pivoting, speaking of keeping yourself relevant, this is when I was pivoting my content anyway and doing more higher production. So I'm like, fuck it, I'll buy a console from them. See, even though the prices are insane, if they're actually refurbishing them, I would agree they're still kind of a ripoff, but hey, you're getting a nice clean console for a hefty premium. So who the fuck cares? God, I got these things. The NES was in shit shape. You've seen my videos. The best one was that the PS2 that I got for them, where the port was, the AV port was broken. And that's an external thing that you see. So how are you refurbishing? They're not refurbishing them. And the Xbox I got didn't read discs, or it was intermittent with reading discs. The first few discs it didn't read. That's not even opening the console. That's literally, hey, let's try to see if it reads a disc at least.
It's right out of the box.
Yeah. There was a video that my editor had to do because I wasn't able to work that day. Where David Jacob Barr did a video where they gave him the wrong console. They didn't include the game. They didn't refurbish the PS4. He was supposed to get a PS4 Slim. And on top of it, they never wiped the system that the previous person's account information was on there.
Ooh, that's no good, Jenna. Jenna, you don't know, but that's like everybody's stuff. Like that could have credit card information, that could have messages, that could have saves,
and that's
everything.
And I saw a lot of people not white knighting. I wouldn't go that. They weren't doing that. But Rich, yeah, I get what you're saying, but that should be the person's responsibility. And I'm like, yeah, but it's your. People forget, that it's always, whether it's GameStop, whether it's a mom and pop shop or DK Oldies, it's their job to wipe the system to keep the customer safe. Like someone should be flat out fired who did that. Where they should find out who did.
Exactly.
And then on top of it, you send the wrong kind of console. They wanted a Slim, you send an original, and it's not clean, and you don't give the game that was supposed to come with it. That's the problem with DK Oldies is they're not doing what is written on the tin. They're scamming you flat out, and that's why a class action lawsuit is pending against them.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. So it's gotten to that point.
Yep.
Because I see their ads all the time. They're always like, whenever I load up TikTok, I have a little bit of a following on TikTok. Like probably, I do memes and stuff there too. But it's a little different of a platform. Like kind of like Instagram. Like I feel like I'm just lost out in the wilderness, unsure of what I'm doing or where I'm going. And I'll scroll through TikTok to be like, oh, let's see what everybody's up to. Like Wang's doing goofy stuff, telling me crazy stuff. Mint Salad's reviewing movies. And then there's DK Oldies. And it's like, oh, they're not pitching like exactly what they're really doing here. Like they're showing the clean version of what they're doing. But then there's a whole other world once you look at them up on YouTube of just bad stories. The prices alone would have really like put me off. Like I'm something of a scavenger. Like I want the best deal But the chances of getting a good deal on like a complete in box Nintendo game probably long gone. The days of going to flea markets and seeing boxes of Nintendo games for like cheap prices, that's over. That's done. We'll never be able to go back to that. It's over.
But I look, whatever the hell they could charge $10,000 for a Sega Genesis with a log of my shit across it. It
might be worth
it
more
might be
if you
worth
signed
more
it.
if I actually lay my log on it. But you get like if they show that this is what we're doing, we're not opening up the console. Here is the turd, and someone is stupid enough to go, you know what? I want that turd on my console.
Sure,
then whatever.
It's Rich's turd.
You know what you're getting. But when you're saying that you're making it like Joey's going there with his 1950s haircut and going through with a Q-tip with solution on it, and they're repasting the thermal paste on, and you're doing none of that, that is a scam at that point. That is a scam. It doesn't matter what you're charging.
Exactly.
That shit could be $5 if you're telling people, oh wow, a $5 Wii, and it's refurbished. If it's not refurbished, it doesn't matter that it's cheap. You're still scamming someone. That's still wrong.
Exactly.
I wonder if there's a legal definition of what refurbished even means. I wonder if that's
they're definitely,
if there's any precedent. There's probably
in there. Yeah.
Because I know there's like VCR repairs and stuff like 20, 30 years ago.
Because
TV repairs, like those tubes
they're not
and
doing
things.
jack shit.
There's got to be some sort of precedent for what refurbished. I mean, what am I saying? There's like phone repair places. There's got to be precedent set for this sort of thing somewhere out there. So curious to see where the DK Oldies show where that goes. So we can find Rich at ReviewTechUSA. That's youtube.com/ReviewTech. I'm sure you guys have heard of that. ReviewTechUSA.
And I'm on RTU Streams. RTU Streams is my other YouTube channel where I live stream pretty much on a daily basis. So check me out there too. Well, shameless plug.
Skibbity bop da boo bop.
Skibbity flop pow. Yes.
Yes. Jenna, where the hell can we find you? Where are you? What are you doing?
Yeah, it's just like there's links and shit, but I'm trying to get something. I'm trying to get something really big going. I don't want to talk about it yet, but
big things. Give it to us
big.
Big.
If I could get this, it's kind of a doozy,
Big,
and it'll get me
big,
back into
big.
videos. But that's it.
Think big. You can find me at youtube.com/CharlesCon. That's my name. And you can find me at twitch.tv/CharlesCon. And I am mask_bastard on Twitter, as well as all the other meme accounts. I got lots of fantasy content going up on the YouTube channel every day for the next month. We'll see how that does. We'll see. Hope everybody likes it. Real Weird Sickos. It's a Real Weird Sickos podcast. YouTube.com/Real Weird Sickos podcast. Twitter.com/Real Weird Sickos. That's us. All right. We'll see you later. Bye.
Yeah, that's us. All right. Bye. I like memes.